SKOL Vikings, we did it! Week 4, 2016, toppled the New York Giants in Monday Night Football by a score of 24-10. A lot of good things happened in the game. It was great to see the offense get rolling. They were dinking and dunking down the field, sustaining drives, taking deep stabs. We saw Charles Johnson catch 2 passes for a total of 70 yards. And we saw Adam Thielen targeted deep, and he had that catch. And there was what I thought I saw, a defensive pass interference that prevented him from making that catch that didn't go called. But the Vikings won the game handily, so I'm not going to complain about the officiating. I just wish that had been different. I also think that Odell Beckham Jr. got away with one offensive pass interference as well that went uncalled. But speaking of Odell Beckham, right, how about that Vikings defense? There were 3 things I kept hearing from Giants fans talking about this game before it happened. One was the Vikings are better, the Giants are probably not going to win, and I'm nervous for this game. Okay, so those fans, they were right. 2 was, well, your Vikings defense is good, but you have never seen a wide receiver set like this wide receiver set. These 3, Beckham, Cruz, and Shepard, you can't. You can slow them maybe, but you can't stop them. Well, the Vikings held all 3 to 50 yards or fewer, which I think is pretty darn good defense. Really, the only thing that the Giants could get going was one broken play, a big long screen to who knows, one of those players you never heard of. It was a nice play, nothing to take, not to take away from the play, but that was the 3rd thing I was hearing from Giants fans, was that the Vikings' defense and special teams play and scoring was not sustainable. Well, it was the Giants' offense that wasn't sustainable last night. So, what a great victory. The running game got going a bit. We saw 2 short scores by McKinnon and Asiata. McKinnon had 85 yards on the ground. They stuck with him. I think he had close to 20 carries. I want to say it was 18 for 85 yards. And Xavier Rhodes handled himself with class and dignity while he took on the punk Odell Beckham Jr. and didn't let him get in his head, and grabbed himself a nice interception. So, the Giants did a great job, I think, coming in and scheming against sacks, and I don't think the Vikings had any. And I think what that says is that the Giants' offensive line is pretty okay, and either Eli Manning was told or decided on his own to get rid of the ball at all costs if pressure was coming. So he was chucking it into the ground, he was throwing it over receivers' heads, he was throwing it out of bounds, and so he has a lot of incompletions because of that, but very few hits and sacks. So it's going to show up more as hurries, I think, for the Vikings defense, or just a very short snap to release time for Eli Manning and the Giants. It was a big muffed punt right in the beginning that set the Vikings up for their first score, and that defense was able to clench its teeth and not let go. What a dominant win. Officially starting to worry about Blair Walsh. I don't know who you'd replace him with. I'm not sure who's out there that's better, but 46-yard field goals aren't the easiest thing in the world, but when you're inside at home and that's your job, it's discouraging to see another miss. Kendricks, too. Not worried about him, and I'm not putting him in the same camp as Walsh, but he had a 1 missed tackle. He's going to be embarrassed, I think, to watch in the film room, as well as that dropped interception very late in the game when the Vikings stopped the Giants' final drive, I think. Remember, I was predicting 30-something to between 10 and 16 for the Giants, but like a 30 to 36 range for the Vikings. If Kendricks had caught that interception late in the game and housed it, and then an extra point made or missed, it would have been 30 or 31 Vikings, 10 Giants. And that's pretty much what I was thinking. It was 30 to 10. So, come on, Kendricks. You almost made me look like a genius. Great victory. 4-0. Hosting the Houston Texans next week during the Twin Cities Marathon. That should be a little crazy. I hope everything goes great there. And looking forward to an awesome season from the Vikings. gosh, I'm just excited to see what happens next. I think the team is good. I think it's improving, and I'm super excited for the season. So until next time, Vikings fans, stay classy and SKOL Vikings.